They said it was impossible. The walls of Jericho stood 40 feet high and 15 feet thick, impenetrable, unshakable, a fortress that had never fallen, and camped outside was an army with no siege weapons, no battering rams, no ladders, just faith, and a very strange battle plan from God. Joshua stood at the edge of the camp, staring at those walls. He had been Moses' right hand for 40 years. He'd seen the Red Sea split open, watched manna fall from heaven, and witnessed water burst from a rock. But this was different. God's instructions made no military sense whatsoever. March around the city once a day for 6 days, in silence. Then on the 7th day, march 7 times, and shout. That's it. No weapons, no strategy, just walking and shouting. Joshua could hear the murmurs in the camp. Some were confused, others doubtful. The enemy was watching from those towering walls, probably laughing. But Joshua knew something they didn't. He knew that when God gives a command, obedience is the only strategy that matters. So on day 1, the Israelite army assembled. 7 priests with 7 ram's horn trumpets led the way. Behind them, the Ark of the Covenant, the very presence of God. Then thousands of soldiers, marching in perfect formation. Not a single word was spoken, just the haunting sound of those horns echoing against the stone. The people of Jericho watched from above. At first, they mocked. Then, they grew silent. There was something deeply unsettling about this silent army circling their city like a predator. Day 2, the same ritual. The trumpets blew. The ark moved forward. The soldiers marched. Inside Jericho, fear began to spread. What kind of army was this? What were they planning? The dread settled over the city like a dark cloud. By day 4, the silence was what unnerved them most. No war cries, no taunts, just silence, and trumpets, and thousands of footsteps. The psychological warfare was devastating. By day 6, anticipation was building in the Israelite camp. Joshua had told them, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow God will give us the city. The walls would fall. God had promised, and God's promises never fail. Day 7. The sun rose on a morning that would be remembered forever. The army assembled, but this time, they didn't stop after 1 lap. They kept going. 1 circle, 2, 3. Inside Jericho, panic set in. This wasn't the routine. 6 circles. The trumpets were relentless now, shaking something deeper than stone. It was shaking their faith in false gods, in human strength. The 7th circle. Joshua raised his hand. The army stopped. The trumpets stopped. Absolute silence. Every eye in Jericho was watching. Every heart in Israel was pounding. This was the moment. Joshua's voice rang out. Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. And they shouted. 40 years of wandering in the desert, 40 years of waiting for this moment, all came out in that shout. It wasn't just sound. It was faith given voice. And then, it happened. The ground trembled. The walls, those impossible, impenetrable walls, began to shake. Stones that had stood for centuries started to crack. And then, with a roar that shook the heavens, the walls fell. Not just a section, the entire wall, straight down, flat, creating a perfect ramp into the city. God didn't just give them victory, He gave them a miracle. But in all that destruction, one house stood. The house of Rahab, the woman who had hidden the Israelite spies and declared, I know that the Lord has given you this land. She had shown faith, and God remembered her. Do you see it? This isn't just a story about walls falling. It's a story about what happens when we trust God's methods even when they seem foolish. It's about obedience over strategy, faith over logic. What walls are standing in your life right now? A financial wall that seems too high, a relationship wall that seems too broken, an addiction wall, a fear wall, and you've been trying to break through with your own strength. What if God is asking you to do something that seems foolish? To march when you want to attack, to wait when you want to act? What if your breakthrough isn't about having the right weapons, but about having the right obedience? The Israelites didn't break down those walls. God did, but they had to march first. The same God who brought down Jericho is still bringing down walls today. But you have to be willing to march. You have to be willing to look foolish, because faith isn't about understanding God's plan. It's about trusting God's character. So stop trying to break through in your own strength. Start marching in obedience. Start trusting in faith. The God who brought down Jericho's walls is more than able to bring down yours. Subscribe for more powerful stories that will strengthen your faith. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a message. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that their impossible situation is not too big for God. Comment below. My walls are coming down. Declare your faith, believe it, and remember, God doesn't need your walls to be small. He just needs your faith to be strong enough to keep marching. Your Jericho moment is coming. Keep walking. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.